presentation. I'll end my presentation here. Any questions, any clarifications on this, and then we'll move to the next speaker. Yes, please.
Not this, but why 7? Why HL is 7?
Sorry?
Why HL is 7?
You know what is HL7?
Yeah, I know about HL7.
What is it?
Health level 7, it's a communication protocols for.
It's not a communication protocol.
We use for our device communication.
No. No, that's the OSI model. That's why the level 7, it was said the application model. That's the historicity of the name. But it's about clinical data interchange. So if you want to, in fact, that's what exactly was being talked earlier. Suppose in your hospital, you're storing something, and the patient wants to have an opinion on that and wants to, takes that, maybe you've given a CD, goes there and they say, we can't read anything. So that won't help. That interoperability won't be there. HL7, why? Because as far as this clinical data interchange is concerned, that's the standard globally. ISO has got a technical committee on healthcare informatics, ISO TC215. They are also adopting most of the HL7 standards. It is being recognized by the countries, I mean, all the standard bodies like.
But it is because of the OSI model, it is called 7?
Yeah, that's the historicity of the name. Now it doesn't have anything for 7. No. Now, if you're saying only about the 7, that's just the historicity part of it. When it was made, HL7 started in 87. So that time the OSI model was in vogue. People took it. Now that OSI model is no more followed, so it doesn't matter. But the name, they won't change. But HL7, if you ask about the versions, yes, version 2 or version 3, that's a paradigm difference. USA, Australia, they're using version 2, 2.5, 2.6. Whereas most of the European countries, and Europe is far ahead in healthcare delivery. US is one of the failed systems. They're using version 3. So in version 3, what is the speciality? There's a thing called CDA, the Clinical Document Architecture, which is very user-friendly, which is very doctor-friendly. HL7 version 2 is not doctor-friendly. But HL7 version 3, there's a thing called RIM, Reference Information Model. Because of that RIM, this CDA, and the problem, what is the problem with CDA? It's cumbersome. So now they are trying to overcome that by one of the methods which has come out is called a green CDA. So what is green CDA? It's again a simplified version. It's directly as an application tool which can be easily incorporated. CDA is something the doctors like. HL7 version 2 is something the doctors don't really enjoy. But as I said, again, historically speaking, who started early, US, Australia, they are continuing with the version 2. Version 2 to 3 cannot be mapped directly. So there's a problem in that area. But here we are not talking about HL7. We are talking about need for training.
So you are educating individuals. What about the HMS and HIS application service solution providers? So do they come to you and do you certify them that, okay, they have interoperability built into the system?
Yeah.
Does anybody approach that?
Again, this is where this gathering like this is very important. E-India, where you are talking about e-gov, because it's again a policy decision. Like in the USA, it's their NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, who certify, okay, these are the versions or these are the particular protocols you should follow. It's excellent. If you go to the Bureau of Indian Standards, you get lost. If you talk about healthcare informatics, yeah, they have a committee. I tried to see the name of the members. It went for 200 or 400 pages. I lost track. I mean, all the health secretaries of all the states and so on, they are the members. And as far as I know, they haven't had any output. But it's there, some of the things. And funny thing about the Bureau of Indian Standards is, because on behalf of HL7 India, I personally have been trying to establish a liaison with them. They never reply to emails. I don't know whether they read emails or not, but at least they don't reply. So, I mean, that's where it is. As I said, legally, for any country, it will be their Bureau of Standards or whatever it is, which will mandate, okay, these are the standards you have to follow. After that, the certification will come, if that is done. So, if and when the law comes, okay, these are the standards for this, for image, you follow DICOM. Okay, then you can see, okay, yeah, this software allows you to use DICOM images and nothing else. But so that's what you're asking is a more futuristic question. That will come. But right now, the slide I showed, that the Committee of EMR Standards, They are just given an interim report, based on which the ministry is supposed to give some feedback, based on which some modifications are to be made. Then a final report will be placed to the Secretary of Health, who will then take it to the minister. And I don't know whether you remember, but last year, somewhere in the month of March, I think last year, 2010 March, in the newspaper, a lot of stories came out on the then Health Secretary and the then Minister of State for Health, that they had a public spat on one of the issues, one of the other things, the India Health Portal. Since then, of course, the secretary has changed. He has retired. There's now another secretary. Even the Minister of State of Health, whom about Dr. Ganju said, Mr. Dinesh Trivedi is now the Railways Minister, so he's no more in health. Because he was one person who was personally pursuing it, And even the Health Secretary in general, they are interested. But the time, in fact, if you're there in the morning session, what Mr. Saxena said, you have those British-made processors. So these people, it has to go through this process. So these are the persons who must check before it can be sent to the next person who can see and comment and so on. So it's somewhere there. It's in the ministry. Ministry is considering it actively, yes. But when will the outcomes be known? We have no idea. Any other questions? Any other questions on the need for training or e-learning as such? If not, we'll move to the next speaker, and then we'll have more discussions. I would like to have this as a more interactive thing.